Help? Could someone help me? I'm trying to get to the game. I have a game to referee. I have to get to the penalty on the chair. Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Check. We've got Monday night's controversy, the return of the refs, and the most ridiculous injuries in sports coming up. This is your Sports Check. So, bet you can't guess what I'm going to talk about. There are a few moments in sports history that I'll never forget where I was when I witnessed them. Like Michael Jordan's last shot against the Jazz. Because he didn't play for the Wizards. I've taken those memories and buried their feet in cement. And thrown them in the Mystic River. Then I'll always remember where I was when Mark McGwire hit his 62nd home run to pass Roger Maris's 36-year-old record. What a magical time. Oh yeah. But on Monday, I felt truly blessed to witness the worst call
in NFL history.
Maybe we'll just go with of all time. Check it out.
Takes the lone receiver to the left. The Packers playing at the goal line. As Wilson scrambles to keep it alive. The game's final play is a Wilson lob to the end zone, which is fought for by Tate.
And here it comes. Look at the wide guy. He looks over at him like, what? Ah! My bad. Touch. Enter. Safe. Look at that. Here it comes. Shoot. Right in his hands. Right in his hands. I mean, it's so obvious. Here it is from another angle. Shoot. Right into his hands. He brings it to his chest. And that should be it. Right?
The call on the field stands. Touchdown.
What a bunch of goobers. What a maroon. Hey, the proper term is zebra. You gotta wonder, how did these guys get their jobs? Turns out the NFL waited 2 weeks before the preseason started to hire their replacements, and only when it became apparent that the referees union wouldn't budge from their holdout. It's kinda hard to run background checks on 100+ employees in that time, so they didn't. Formalities. I told you guys about some of these referees' mind-blowing qualifications last week, including that some of them worked in the Lingerie Football League. But check this out. Several of those guys were fired from that gig for incompetence, meaning they couldn't even keep up with the speed of a glorified powder puff league. Of course, it's hard to call a football game when you're Ow! Hey, say little mama, let me holler at you. I guess I really can't blame them. I don't really know who to blame, but a wise man once said, you never leave the game up to the referees. And now we know why. Penalty! 15 yards, insulting the referees. Oh.
How about those Cowboys?
After watching the replay, it's pretty obvious the call on the field was wrong. But these were replacements, and it's pretty hard to tell running down the field without the benefit of slow motion. But then they sent it to the replay booth, where there were seasoned NFL employees who watched the same thing we all did and still didn't overturn it. I think my reaction was something along the lines of,
The call on the field stands. Touchdown.
no!
Seahawks.
No! Are they on crack? And if the game time flop wasn't enough, the NFL officiating department reviewed the play the next day and came to the same conclusion, and then released a statement. Referee Wayne Elliott determined that no indisputable visual evidence existed to overturn the call on the field, and as a result, the on-field ruling of touchdown stood. The NFL officiating department reviewed the video today and supports the decision not to overturn the on-field ruling following the instant replay review. The result of the game is final. Translation? We know you all saw the replays, and yes, we do think you're a bunch of idiots. But what are you gonna do about it? Stop watching football? Good one. As a matter of fact, before the NFL negotiated a deal with the referees on Wednesday, analysts predicted the highest ratings of the season, with fans eager to see just how bad the next batch of referees could screw things up. But we'll never know. Things will get back to normal this weekend, and that's what's important, right? Not quite. The labor dispute has gone on long enough to do some damage. Seattle and Green Bay are NFC opponents, and now that the Seahawks have the tiebreaker, things could get dicey if records are close come December. Okay, we're almost in October, one of my favorite months of the year, because football's in full swing, baseball starts getting interesting, and the basketball season begins. NBA training camp starts October 2nd, but Steve Blake won't be joining his Lakers teammates. And not because he's holding out for a better contract. A few days ago, Blake suffered a puncture wound to his left foot after stepping on a spike strip in a parking lot. Darn those spike strips, they just creep up on you. They could be anywhere. In your garden, your walk-in closet, or your friendly neighborhood roadblock? The spike strip is a deadly creature, preying mostly on mediocre professional basketball players. Blake won't be participating in any impact exercises in the next 3 weeks, but this got me thinking. Steve can't be the only one with an embarrassing injury. Back in July, PGA golfer Thomas LeVay and his manager both jumped into the lake on the 18th hole of the French Open to celebrate his win. But it didn't prove to be the best move he'd ever made as he broke his leg on the landing. The injury cost Thomas a shot at the British Open the very next month. Sacre bleu, Patrice. I think I have broken my leg. What should I do? Play it off. They won't even notice. Okay. Ow. Ow. I'm an idiot. Ow. No, it's okay. Ow. Back in the 90s, Atlanta Braves pitcher John Smoltz suffered a severe burn to his chest while ironing a shirt he already had on. Not the greatest multitasker, huh, John? He denied the account, later saying that he got the burn from putting on the shirt too soon after he got it fresh from the cleaners. Now that's fresh. We believe you, Smoltzy. Finally, in 1999, through no fault of his own, former Cleveland Brown Orlando Brown missed 3 seasons after referee Jeff Triplett hit him in the eye with a weighted penalty flag. Wow! Brown stormed the field later in the game, knocking down Triplett and drawing a suspension for games that he wouldn't have played in anyway. After being hospitalized for 6 days with bleeding behind the eye, Brown sued the NFL for $200 million before eventually settling out of court for $25. He would return to the field in 2003, but then retire 2 seasons later in 2005. And that's the show for this week. Make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and leave me a comment below the video here or on Facebook. But until next time, I'm Seth Hagan, and this has been your Sports Check. Later. Dope! I knew I should have watched more Sports Check.